So the other day on my Instagram page, I posted a picture of a product recall notice, this time related to a Trek handlebar on the Amonda and Speed concept. Now, I did hear rumours about this some time ago, and it was just before I went on holidays. I was going to post something on it. I went on holidays, then I got COVID. I was out of action for a bunch of time. Come back from COVID, check my messages and stuff, see this product recall notice has finally been released. So yet again, we've got a case where there's sort of a delay where everybody's sort of pretending that there isn't a problem and hoping that the problem goes away, without it being properly communicated. So, and that was sort of the nature of the Instagram post, how the cycling media typically isn't really that forthcoming in sort of making this sort of information public. And some of the comments were along the lines, oh yeah, but the dealers contact the owners of the bike and directly, and so it doesn't need to go sort of mainstream, and that may work up to a point. However, if you bought one of these bikes and then sold it on, then the dealer may not have a record of who the new owner is, and then the new owner's potentially riding on a faulty or an item which may fail and be unaware of that. So that's a problem. Now, since I posted that picture, I've also been sent a video of the nature of a failure. So where the handlebar has failed. So a person sent me this video, and I'll show that now. You can have a look at that video. So on the video, you can see that the handlebar has failed on the bend, so on the corner, and that's under the bar tape typically, right? So that's difficult to spot with unless you take the bar tape off. So the handlebar could be developing a crack, and you'll be unaware of that until it fails, and it would be quite a bad failure in that you've got damaged carbon. You're gonna lose control of the bike. So basically you've got equal weight on each hand on the handlebar, and if one end falls, one end of the handlebar falls off, well then you're going to be unbalanced. You're typically going to have some sort of crash unless your bike handling skills are exceptional. The other thing is that you've got then broken carbon, which is sharp and prone to splintering. It's typically unidirectional carbon, very prone to splintering. And you've got this sort of area of your forearm sort of being exposed to that. So that it could be quite a dangerous thing. Obviously, getting a cut on any of the major arteries in your arm would be less than ideal. Now, one of the other things, like on the Instagram post, some of the comments, and I'm amazed that some people still think that it's okay to pretend that this is not a serious problem that needs to be communicated clearly. Like, you can't just say, oh, but no one's been killed or no one's been hurt, or so everything's okay. That just doesn't cut it. Like, you need to be proactive in this space to eliminate these unnecessary risks, right? So now, I've been through this before. Like, at what point, does somebody need to die before this system changes? Or, people have died. Like, I've done coroner's reports on bike failures. I've been expert witnesses and be an expert witness on cases where people have been seriously injured. It is a big deal, and it's very easy to say, oh well, it's someone else's problem. But I mean, to those people, I say, well, wait till it happens to you and see how you'd react in that situation, and I'm sure it will be a different type of reaction than if it happens to somebody else. So, the other thing, I suppose, I've got a number of questions in this space, and so why is this recall? Because this was the other thing that came up in the comments. The recall is in some countries but not in others, and so the communication seems to be a little bit lacking. And obviously, if there's a part failure, if there's a design or manufacturing problem in a part, well, that's going to affect all the parts made, from that batch. Now, it's highly unlikely. Australia's quite a small market, and I wouldn't imagine that all the handlebars, so it's only the handlebars that came to Australia which have a problem. Typically, I'd imagine it'd be more of a global problem. So why haven't other countries rolled out this recall? Now, the other question is, what role can the media play to help drive the consumer safety for riders, and sort of inform them to avoid these sorts of problems. The other thing is that, yet again, we're seeing that the test standards are not representative of the use cases, and the quality assurance on these parts seem to be insufficient. And so if the testing and the quality processes were suitable, we wouldn't be having these recalls, right? So the recalls are evidence of a failed system. So if everything is working as it should, you shouldn't have recalls. And obviously recalls are very expensive, so you want to avoid having a recall as best as you can. And probably the biggest question of all is, how do the brands justify the retail prices on these products based on engineering and performance when parts fail and have to be recalled? How can you say you need to buy our parts because we do all the engineering and we've got the highest performance parts when parts are failing? I think that's sort of a contradictory sort of situation. So, to sum up, this is another case I'm not taking any dig at Trek directly. We've seen this with other brands, as I've shown on this channel in the past. I think what needs to happen, there needs to be a change in culture and a change in attitude, and actually promoting rider safety ahead of pure profits. Okay, well, I hope you learned something. I hope to do more videos now. I'm back from COVID and got a bunch of work on, but there's a number of things I want to talk about. So watch this space. Okay, see ya.